Should you buy Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch?
Yes.
Oh, hi there. So I'm bringing a friend along for this video because we're talking about a game that's a re-release of a Wii U game that I personally didn't bother to buy on a Switch.
This one right here!
Yes, you own it. This is your Switch, and we've been playing this literally all day today.
Yep.
And I feel it's time, not for a full-on review, but definitely to do a video where we talk about our thoughts. So I'm James.
And I'm Rose.
And today we're going to decide if Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch is right for you. Welcome to Stuff We Play, home of everything weird and retro. If that sounds cool to you,
Subscribe.
yeah, do the thing.
Smash this like button.
Today we're talking about Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch, and if it's right for you. And what are we covering today specifically?
We're going to be covering gameplay, presentation, and I forgot the third point.
Third point, we're off it. Third point is we're going to be comparing it with the previous Wii U and 3DS versions, which are the ones, particularly the 3DS version, that I have more experience with. You okay? You okay?
I'm losing.
You okay? You dying?
Yes.
You're okay.
I'm dead. So.
You're okay. You do know I'm keeping this in, right?
Hyrule Warriors is just a Warriors game skinned with Zelda characters and stuff like that. It's your typical hack and slash with a bunch of weak enemies and some key strong ones spewed around in there that you need to go target down and take out.
It's a really simple game, a bit mindless in a way, but there's something definitely endearing here if you haven't played a Warriors game before. You know, there's a flavor of Dynasty Warriors for everyone. You know, if you like medieval China, there's Dynasty Warriors. If you like robots, there's Dynasty Warriors Gundam. If you like that Fire Emblem weeaboo trash, there's Fire Emblem Warriors. And for Zelda fans, there's this.
The gameplay is simple, but there is depth involved later on with different leveling mechanics and building the characters up to suit your playstyle a bit more. And so it kind of suits a lot of playstyles, which is nice.
And one thing that I think I can really appreciate about Hyrule Warriors is the vast number of characters. One thing I will fault against it is if you're player one, you're stuck with one of only a few characters for a while. Yeah,
for the most part, you start off with just the story-centric characters. Over time, though, you will unlock more, and when you go back to play previous levels, you'll have access to more to play with.
For sure. But what was funny was, you know, I know you wanted to play as Midna, but I was able to jump in as player two just from the very start and, you know, play as Midna, or eventually I ended up just being Ganondorf, which is fantastic. I don't know why I could play as Ganondorf from the start, but that was cool as hell, I thought. But gameplay-wise, would you say mindless yet endearing?
Mindless yet something to do. It's a lot of fun cooperatively more than it is as a solo play.
And I guess one thing I'll also mention before we move on is it's a game that runs great, in my opinion, both in handheld and docked mode, using both the Pro controllers or even the Joy-Cons. For most of this, I was in a player 2 position using the Joy-Cons while you were using the Pro controller.
Yep.
And I felt both were very effective here. So moving on from the gameplay, let's go into the presentation of this game. And quite honestly, I think it looks stunning. It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say nearly as good as Breath of the Wild or whatnot. For a game that's typically in motion a lot of the time, it looks great, especially when you're in motion. And we're talking about a game that's a port of a game that's how many years old?
I think it's like four years old, around that at this point. Comparatively, between the Wii U and the 3DS, the Wii U was like the console edition. They did co-op multiplayer. One person was on the TV, one person was on the gamepad. That's the only way you could do co-op. There wasn't any online, and there still isn't, and the frame rate would drop in half to compensate for the two separate screens like that. Because the 3DS version, I don't think had multiplayer at all, unfortunately. If you didn't have it on new 3DS, the regular 3DS, like gameplay aspect of it was very slow, very gross looking, and you had like 4 enemies on screen at any point. Like it was like
on
very
a 2DS. I can only imagine what it would have been like on the 2DS.
The Switch edition remedies that. Like, you have that console experience, and it's a little bit smoother and a little bit nicer looking, and the frame rate is there, and it doesn't cut back on the amount of enemies on screen. We did the split screen, we were in totally separate areas, we both had hundreds of enemies to mow down on each other's screens, and it was just fine.
Presentation-wise, I think it's, you know, definitely looks great, and the soundtrack is great. I mean, we're talking about great remixes of Zelda tunes here.
Yeah, like, it's Zelda music with a nice twist to it, and it's fresh but still familiar, and it's a very nice soundtrack to go along with all the combat. For most Warrior games, Story isn't really much to write home about. That's the unfortunate truth. But you have the main quest storyline. You have all of the different DLC storylines added to this. There's no additional DLC coming for the game that I'm aware of. Like, it's a whole package of all the DLC from all the previous versions are now in one container.
Comparatively, where would we rank this above our two versions? Because I'll be honest, I didn't play this much on Wii U. I think I played it like at a demo thing at a convention once on Wii U.
Yeah.
But I played it on 3DS, and I gotta say, on 3DS, this kicks the 3DS version's ass. If you've only played Hyrule Warriors Legends on the 3DS, and this is definitely a warranted upgrade even at full price with all the stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if I'd recommend it if you played the Wii U version, from what I've seen.
The only thing I can say, if you've only played the Wii U version, is if you haven't touched any of the DLC that came out for the Wii U version, or gotten or seen any of the DLC that came out with the 3DS version, which was additional stuff, then the benefit of the Switch edition is it's a full price game, but it has all the content from both versions that came out. But if you have owned either of the previous ones before, it's kind of hard to recommend getting it.
Absolutely, and it's a shame. So many of the titles Nintendo's been releasing are Wii U ports, and I understand that as I was we were 2 of 5 people in the world who bought a Wii U, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get it, but I want something original. I would have rather the Hyrule Warriors 2 or something, though. As is, it is a fun time, and if you've only played on the previous versions, and hey, you have a portable HD version of Hyrule Warriors that you can take anywhere. Granted, your Switch battery lasts, right?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it'd be worth it if you can find it used. And if you're a fan of the Warriors game and you're a fan of Zelda, this fits your niche then.
But regardless, we might be rambling a bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. A good game, but not necessarily a must-buy. Thank you for coming along with me, Rosa.
Yeah.
Do you want to plug yourself where people can find you?
I do art. You can find me on Twitter, @RoseCuddles on Twitter.
And then you also stream as well, right?
I stream rarely. And when I do stream, it does also show up on my Twitter, so you can find it out over there.
And, of course, have you played Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, or really any Zelda game recently? Let me know what you've been playing down in the comment section below. Why don't you subscribe to Stuff We Play for more great content like this? Or if you really want to, go the extra mile and support us on Patreon, because every dollar goes back into the channel itself. So with that, thank you very much for watching. Stay classy, and we'll see you
in the
next
video.
time. Yeah.
Smash this like button.
Smash that like button.
Smash this like button.
Smash
so
it.
hard.
Smash that like button.
Just smash that like
Oh.
button.